times 2.
Right.
Right? So A is 440 Hz. A above is 880, A below is 220. So exactly 2. But if you go around the cycle of fifth 12 times, times 3 over 2, you have 3 to the power of 12 divided by 2 to the power of 12. If you know anything about prime numbers, which I'm sure you both do, you know that it can never be 2. Right? It can never reach 2. Because there's a 3 in there. 3 there's no connection to it 2 in any way, shape, or form. It's a prime number. You can never get there. There's something called a Pythagorean comma that is a slight difference of the 2, right? So if you go up all the way, 3 over 2, 3 times 12, 3 to the power of 12 divided by 2 to the power of 12, means you've gone up a fifth 12 times. So you get to the octave above, and you divide that by 8, because that's how many octaves you get above.
Do you know what the octave is for music?
No.
So it's like the same note, but
one octave above.
Yeah. Okay.
So the frequency is times 2.
Yeah.
Exactly 2. But if you go up in fifth, so it's like a subsection.
cycles of fifth.
Cycle of fifths. So if you go up the fifth 12 times, you get back to the same note.
And it every time sounds good.
Yeah, it's just to our ears it sounds nice. The frequency is
like
between
the most
1 and the
lazy.
fifth is 1.5.
It's the most lazy.
Yeah. It's the
The notes that
geometric
go
mean.
the best together.
Yeah. It's the geometric mean between an octave.
Yeah.
Right? So 1.5. But if you go around 12 times, you get 3 over 2 to the power of 12 times the base.
Yeah.
It's like interest, calculating interest, you know? And then you divide it by 8 to adjust it all into the same octave. But then you're off.
Okay, but we understand your point. So your main point is that
Before that happened,
the math
you couldn't write
behind
music.
it, the technology depends on the math. The
Yeah.
construction of the technology.
Yeah.
The music depends on the technology, and the technology depends on the math. So we might find out new math or new
Well, the
underlying.
math part I think is done for now. There's not much new math. I think
No,
it's gonna
but
come out.
before Pythagoras, they said the same.
Yeah. But I see after they accepted the square root of 2, and instead of doing it times 3 over 2, they decided to go up a semitone, it's 2 to the power of 1/12. That's the frequency difference in between 2 adjacent notes, right? Which is exactly splitting the octave evenly. Suddenly now you have the capacity to make a keyboard that has all 12 keys in it. But you can't adjust sound because there was no hammer action. You can't hit a nylon or a nylon string, not nylon, what is the material? Like a cloth fabric string with a hammer, it's gonna break. You needed metal, right? So before the harpsichord, before metalwork came out, they had to pluck the string on a harpsichord. So you couldn't do dynamics, you couldn't do anything. You know what a harpsichord is?
No.
It looks like a piano, except it doesn't have metal strings. It has fabric strings that's plucked. A piano has metal string that is hit with a hammer. You press the key, a hammer hits the string. Before metalwork came out, you didn't have the capacity to make a metal string so tense to make that kind of vision. So a harpsichord is very limited. You can't do dynamics. It's a 1 or 0 sound, right? You can't hold the notes down. It's just a. But once metalwork came around, now suddenly you have metal strings, metal springs. So you can really put the strength tension on the string to hit it with a hammer, and then boom, world of music opens up, right? Metal strings on the violin, all these kind of things suddenly became possible. And it was, music was made for many, many years. And
Was it violin there?
you had all kinds of even still. It converted to standard. And then the computers came out until about 10 years ago, maybe not so useful, apart from sound engineering equipment, which became much better as time went. And then the GarageBand type of shit started coming out, which made music accessible to everyone suddenly, which is wonderful. I'm very happy about that. And I remember being in school, people who never touched music suddenly had the capacity to make music on their own. Because everybody now, a lot of people have MacBooks. MacBooks come with GarageBand installed. GarageBand takes about 10 minutes to learn. In about 10 minutes, you're writing music. It's wonderful, right? But that means they're not learning to play a piano. They're not learning to play guitar. They're not learning to play a instrument. They're learning to use a computer that has those sounds. And that happens
Max! Max!
So at this stage, if pop music is obviously so much more better than jazz, who's gonna put in the effort? Because you see, to play pop music on a saxophone is quite straightforward.
Thank you.